Here is a list of Kerberos request and response messages used in communication between clients, KDC, and application services. Here are the details about the fields in authentication service request and response messages. Notice the field nonce. It's a randomly generated number used by Kerberos for preventing message replay. This field is also used by cloud authentication protocols instead of a timestamp. Here are the details about the fields in ticket granting service and application server request and response messages. Pre-authentication data is part of authentication service requests and includes client's timestamp encrypted with the client key. If a smart card is used, the user's public certificate signed with the user's private key will be placed in this field. Just as pre-authentication data in authentication service request messages, in ticket granting service request messages, the authenticator verifies the client listed as the sender of the message is the actual source of the message. Authenticator is encrypted with a session key and includes a timestamp. The timestamp proves that the message was recently generated and is not a replay. Encrypting the authenticator with a session key proves that it was generated by a party possessing the session key. Since no one except the requesting principal and the target service has the session key, this guarantees the identity of the client. Kerberos policy requires that the timestamp be within 5 minutes of the time on the target server. Otherwise, the authenticator and the ticket will be rejected. This helps prevent message replay. Privilege account certificate is an extension of the authentication data field in the client's Kerberos tickets. It contains information such as user profile information, security identifiers, and group membership. The mid-tier service performs PAC validation through DC Net Logon service as part of authentication process when delegation is involved. It is a security feature that addresses PAC spoofing, preventing an attacker from gaining unauthorized access to a system or its resources by using a tempered PAC. PAC validation may affect application performance due to additional communication between the application server and domain controller. It's disabled by default for applications running as services. PAC validation cannot be disabled for applications which run in IIS, but I was unable to identify it in the packet trace of a multi-tier web application. PAC is not validated if the application has act as part of the operating system privilege set, or the application is service and the validate KDC PAC signature registry key is set to disable PAC validation. Kerberos uses RC4 and AES encryption algorithms to protect tickets and parts of authentication messages, including pre-authentication data, authenticator, and session key. Since Windows 7 and Windows Server 2008 R2, by default, DES is disabled, RC4 is enabled, and AES is supported and enabled for client to KDC communication. RC4 encryption key is client's NTLM MD4 hash. AES encryption key is derived from the client's password, salted with client's UPN in the form of domain com/sam account name, hashed using string-to-key function. Here are the most common Kerberos errors. If you see a pre-authentication required error, it doesn't indicate there is a problem. The client requested a ticket but didn't include the pre-authentication data with it. Windows uses this technique to determine the supported encryption types. The most common scenario for bad option error is a request for a delegated ticket in constrained delegation. You will normally see this on the mid-tier server trying to access a backend server. There are several reasons for rejection. The server's account is not trusted for delegation, or it's not trusted for delegation to the requested SPN. The user's account is marked as sensitive and cannot be delegated. Or the request was for a constrained delegation ticket to itself. Constrained delegation is designed to allow a mid-tier service to request a ticket to a backend service on behalf of another user, but not on behalf of itself.